to hear about a once in a lifetime kind of opportunity. And I have this daunting task to bring it to you. I will do my best. And the way I do that is I tell you my story. I tell you how I got to know about this business and what are the reasons why I decided to jump in it, okay? And then hopefully you can resonate and make your own decision. Like the announcer said, I've been in the United States for a very long time, very close to 36 years now. And throughout that time, I've worked like everybody else, sometimes 2 jobs, sometimes 2.5 jobs, just to make ends meet. For the most part, I've worked in the IT industry. And for those of you who are familiar with that industry, it is a broad one, but I consider myself a generalized specialist. I've touched almost every discipline in that industry. About 34 years ago, I ran into the works of Mr. Warren Buffett, who said, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you're going to work until you die. So I didn't want to work until I die. So I decided to look for ways to make money in my sleep. And I also ran into the works of Mr. Robert Kiyosaki, who is famous for his book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. He's the one that impressed upon me that it is true we have rich people in this world, but we also have the wealthy. The difference, the rich tend to work for their money. Yes, they make a lot of money, but they trade hours for dollars. They must go to work to get paid. The wealthy, on the other hand, they make money passively. Yes, so that passive residual income that I've been looking for. I decided to retire from corporate America, March 17, 2017, not because I had a lot of money, because I recall a colleague of mine saying to me, Charles, you are very fortunate. You must have saved up a lot of money to be retiring this early. And I said to him, on the contrary, I have been working for so long, but can't seem to save up the kind of money that I would like. So there's got to be another way. I remember Robert Einstein, who says, you keep doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. That is his definition of insanity. I agree with him 100%, and I decided to do things differently. So when I took an office space in Maryland in the United States, and just over 2 years ago, a very trusted friend of mine came to my office. Folks, all I'm doing here is I'm telling you my story, just the way it is, because Mark Twain once said, as long as you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. So I'm not in the mood to remember, okay? Just a couple of years ago, just over 2 years ago, this friend came to my office and said to me, Charles, I want to show you this business. It is interesting. And just so you know, prior to retiring from corporate America, I had been studying rigorously the behavioral patterns of successful people. And one of them is this. You bring them an opportunity. They look at it, they examine it inside out so that they can make an informed decision. So I pretended to be one of them that day. And I told my friend, yes, I'm going to look at this opportunity. I'm going to examine it. But I have 3 questions, prerequisites. We have to go through those and then we can move on. Question number 1. This opportunity that you are bringing to me today, if I do not recruit, am I going to make money? If I cannot sell to even one person, will I still make money? And when I say money, I mean real money, enough money to give me financial freedom. Now, remember, guys, I had time freedom because I had retired. But in order to get total freedom, you must have time freedom and financial freedom. So I was still in search for that. So I asked my friend, if I cannot recruit even one person, because I am an African, and in our culture, we don't know how to recruit, am I going to make the kind of money that will give me time freedom? Sorry, that will give me financial freedom. And he looked up at me and said, Charles, yes. You'll make enough money to leave a legacy to your children, your grandchildren, and beyond. That sounded like music to my ears. And I said, okay, let's go to question number 2. With this company, am I going to have to come out of pocket every month, month in, month out, to pay some bill? In the industry, they call it ownership. Will I have to come out of pocket to pay a monthly ownership? He said, nope, Charles, when this company launches, that's it. You come out of pocket once and you are done. I kind of like that. And then the third and final question, the last, but certainly not the least. So important, this question. I asked him, does this company have a legitimate, viable product? Now, my friends, by legitimate, I mean legal. By viable, I mean necessary, right? So I've seen people come to me and say, Charles, I am selling some vitamins. It is viable. No, it is not viable. I've seen people come to me and say, I'm selling lotions. I'm selling all kinds of stuff. They are viable. No, they are not viable. Yes, you can use them. Believe me, if you don't use those vitamins or those lotions, you will still survive comfortably. There are a lot of alternatives. When I say viable, I had a friend not long ago went to Nigeria from the United States. On his way back, at the airport, he realized he did not have his phone, his cell phone. He canceled his flight because he couldn't fathom living without his cell phone. Now that's viability. You don't have internet in this day and age, life is almost unbearable. That's viability. And viable products, my friend, is for sustainability. Viability breeds sustainability. If a company does not have legitimate, viable products, my friends, it is a time bomb. I know a bunch of you here are from Nigeria. You must be familiar with it. You must have heard of a company called MMM. Came by a few years ago. A few people made money, that's true, but lots of people lost tons of money. You go back and you look at MMM. They simply did not have viable products. And there are many companies like that. They come up very often, almost every day. But I'm somebody who learns from their mistakes. I learned my lesson. Like former US President Bill Clinton used to say, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So that day when I asked my friend, does this company have a legitimate, viable product? He said to me, Charles, with your extensive IT background, you should be able to understand these products better than me. I said, no problem. Went, took a look at the products, came back to him, and I said, my friend, should this company succeed in what they're trying to do, we are going to have an internet quake, right? I don't know if that word exists. I was thinking of earthquake, and I just said internet quake, okay? But I also told him, we're going to have to wait for some time, maybe 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, I don't know, but we're going to have to wait a long time. And he didn't like that. He said to me, Charles, why would you say that? I said, simple. You told me to look at the products, I did. And I understand what they're doing. They're using artificial intelligence, AI for short. AI is a disruptive technology. And what is a disruptive technology? One that comes every once in a while and it'll change the way we do things. We have no choice. In other words, it'll disrupt our lives. AI is yet the most disruptive technology mankind has ever known. But AI is very involved. It involves machine learning. It involves empirical data. It involves millions upon millions of lines of coding. So for those of you who are familiar with software development, it is time consuming. So that's what I told him. We're going to have to buckle up. We're going to have to fasten our seatbelts and then enjoy the roller coaster. But I also told him, I don't care how long it's going to take. I want to be part of this company right now. I had something called FOMO, fear of missing out. I had missed out on a few opportunities earlier on in my life. I wasn't going to miss out on this one at no length of time and at no cost. So I asked him, If I wanted to get involved today with this company, how much is it going to cost me? And I was thinking something like 10K, 20K, 25K. And I had my credit card in my pocket. Fortunately for us, in the United States, we do not need cash. All we need is plastics. And I had a few of those. But my friend looked up on me and said, Charles, it ain't going to cost you that much. All you need is $97. And I said, you've got to be kidding, right? He said, nope, I'm not kidding. I said, well, okay, here's my credit card. Put it on there. By the time we were done, it cost me $102. So yes, there is a $5 fee for credit debit card usage. The bank will charge you that. Big deal. I told him, consider that dinner for two. But I also told him, do me a favor. I do not have 5 years to be monitoring this company. You call me, you text me, you email me, you do whatever it takes. Get me informed when this company is closer to launch so that I can get more involved. 8 months later, he gave me a call. Charles, the CEO of this company is trying to talk to us in a week's time. Can you make yourself available? I said, sure. 1 week later, I hop on the call, and there was Mr. Ashmofara, the CEO of this company. Mr. Ashmofara, for those of us who have been founders for some time, we have come to know and love him dearly. Not only because he's going to help us make money, and I can assure you he will help us make lots of it, but also, and more specifically, because of his heart for humanity. My friends, we have quite a few geniuses out there. There is Bill Gates, there's Mark Zuckerberg, there's Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, just to name a few. These guys, all of them have the brains, but do they have the heart? As you come to join ONPASSIVE, you will find out. Our CEO, Mr. Ashmofara, not only does he have the brains, but he has the heart. So a lot of us leaders, myself particularly, resonate with him so very well. But mind you, I was listening to Mr. Mofara that day for the very first time. And I hopped on the call and he went, folks, we have been making a lot of progress. In fact, we are closer to launch than ever. So he threw me off. I'm confused. I said, wait a minute. Just 8 months ago, I had told my friend, we're going to be waiting for a long time. Now, all of a sudden, this dude is telling us we are closer to launch. Whom is he kidding? So the least he did was he got my attention. So I was listening very keenly. He went on. He said, we have leased a building in Bangalore in India. For those of you who are familiar with that part of the world, Bangalore is like the Silicon Valley of India. Okay, but if you look at me now, you're going to see a building. It says ONPASSIVE on it. This building is in High-Tech City in Hyderabad. This building is fairly new. We've acquired this building December of 2020. At the time, this building was non-existent. Mr. Mofara had gone to Bangalore. He had leased 2 floors in a high-rise building. And he said, we've also hired 200 engineers, top of the line. And these guys are working day and night to make sure our dream is realized. Now in my head, I'm thinking, okay, most startup companies are going to have 20 to 25 engineers. Most startup companies are going to have these engineers work 8, 9, maybe 10 hours a day. But Mr. Mofara goes to the source. And when I say source, for those of you who are familiar with IT, you will agree with me that Indians are the best in the game, hands down. He goes to the source. He did not get 20 or 25 engineers. He got 200 of them. And they are not working 8 or 9 or 10 hours a day. No, they are working 24/7. They are working around the clock. They are taking turns to make sure this dream is realized. So in my head, I'm beginning to think, okay, with this kind of a resource, yes, you're able to cut time frames. With this kind of a resource, yes, you're able to do in 2 years what is scheduled to take 5 years. So my belief factor goes up, and I'm listening. And he went on. He said, unfortunately, some of us, insiders, you and I, founding members, have been unethical. So we're going to come up with non-disclosure agreement, an NDA for short. If you want to be part of this company, you must sign that NDA. 2 months later, Mufara calls up another meeting. NDAs are out. Go back, take a look. I went back, looked at this document, very long document, and I can assure you, I am not an attorney by any stretch of the imagination. But by the time I was done reading this document, it occurred to me that this is that time I told my friend, text me, email me, call me, I need to get involved. It occurred to me that I need to get serious, I need to roll up my sleeves and get busy with this company. I looked at how much time, energy, money they had spent from the time I joined up until then. I said, okay, I am on. I looked up, they had just over 40,000 founding members. Didn't say a lot of African names, and I know African names when I see them. I was disturbed, and that's when I became a man on a mission. And if you're here and you're not from Africa, don't feel bad, because I'm going to work with you like everybody else. And by the way, I am now a member of the Leadership Council. That means what? That means I got to work with everybody globally. But at the time, I said to myself, Africans are going to be part of this cake. Called up a few friends to my office. I said, guys, we need to spread the word. We need to get our people into this opportunity ASAP. What's the best way? We brainstormed and came up with Zoom. Thanks to technology with Zoom, all you need is a smart device. It can be an iPhone, an iPad, a laptop. You need internet access, data, as you guys call it back in Africa, and you are on. So what is this company I'm talking to you about? ONPASSIVE. Again, behind me, it says ONPASSIVE as in Victor, E as in Edward. And that name was not given by chance. My friends, this is a passive opportunity. What does that mean? That means you come on board, this company launches, you pay one little subscription fee, you're done. Money in your bank account, one-way traffic. Our CEO and founder, Mr. Mufara, I just mentioned to you guys a few moments ago, graduated with masters in internet marketing and information technology. He went back to Harvard, did some more studies on online businesses. This guy has a knack for artificial intelligence, AI, that disruptive technology that I just mentioned to you guys. This guy is a guru when it comes to traffic generation. What is traffic? My friends, traffic is the reason I can dream today. Traffic is the reason I can invite you all to dream with me today. It is so important, very, very important. So let's spend a couple minutes talking about traffic. Traffic is the most fundamental element in any business. Doesn't matter whether that business is online or offline. But I do know most of us have an age and we're more used to offline businesses. So I'm going to start with traffic offline. So let's just say you have a business offline and I have the same business. It doesn't matter the business. It can be a car dealership, it can be a barber shop, it can be a hair salon, doesn't matter. But let's just say you have a restaurant, and I just use that because I love food, that's it. And I know everybody eats, okay? So you have a restaurant and I have a restaurant. Same kind of restaurant, same kind of food, everything is the same except what? Location. Your restaurant is located in a busy area, in a shopping mall. People come in and out all the time. My restaurant is located in a back alley. It is hidden. Now, your restaurant is going to fare better than mine. And here's why. People are going to come to that restaurant, to that shopping mall, minding their own business, to do their hair, maybe buy some clothes, do their nails, window shopping, whatever it is that brings them to the shopping mall. They will eventually get hungry. They look up, see a restaurant, wander into a restaurant, and the end result of that is what? Sales. My restaurant, on the other hand, they're going to have to know that it's there. They're going to have to leave their homes deliberately to go there. Because of that, it suffers. It suffers from what? Traffic. So now, what is traffic? The people, customers, coming in and out of your business. That's it. What about traffic online? But before I go there, let me say this. In this digital day and age, if you have an offline business like the restaurant, you better get yourself an online presence. Else, you're asking to be smoked by your competition. And the reverse is not true. You can have a very successful business online without an offline representation. Typical example, Amazon. So what am I saying in essence? Here's what I'm saying. It is true that we have lots of businesses offline, millions upon millions of them. But it is also true that as many of those businesses that we have offline, we have even more online, billions of businesses online. And all of these businesses thrive on traffic too. They don't have traffic, they are out. So what is online traffic? Clicks, my friend, simple, clicks. You have a business online, the first thing that needs to happen for you to make a sale, someone has to click on it. No clicks, no sales. The more the clicks, the more the sales. So there are businesses online, individuals online that make a lot of money just driving traffic to all the businesses online. Typical example, Google. And then there's something called targeted traffic. What is targeted traffic? So you go online looking for a TV, and somebody comes to you and say, wait a minute, go to charlesosong.com. The moment you get there, you see TVs, all sorts, all colors, all kinds, all prices. Your chances of buying very, very high. So charlesosong.com just got himself a targeted traffic. Our CEO and founder, Mr. Mofara, I just mentioned to you guys a few moments ago, is the best in the game of driving targeted traffic. Nobody even comes close to him. He proved himself. Upon graduation, he got involved with some businesses, drove traffic to them, sent them affiliates, sent them customers. He made some millions doing that. And yes, these companies made a lot of money. But unfortunately, most of them went out of business. Why is that? Remember I told you guys in the beginning, no legitimate viable product. Any company, any business is a time bomb. Yes, they fell victim to that. So Mr. Mofara and his family, notably his wife, they're gonna come together and say, you know what? We need to stop doing this. We need to stop sending customers, sending people to businesses that will eventually go out. We're gonna start our own. Yes, we're gonna have legitimate, viable digital services. We're gonna have founding members, you and I. We're gonna drive traffic to them because we're the best. They will make money, we are gonna make money, and everybody is happy. Hence, the birth of ONPASSIVE. So just over 3 years ago, and I say over 3 years ago, keep that in mind, because we did not have pandemic, we did not have coronavirus. Mr. Mofara and his friends are gonna sit together and say, hey, we're about to start our own company. We're gonna have legitimate digital services. We have there are about 7.7 billion people on earth. And at any point in time, statistics show that 7 million of them are online, 7 million. Now, 3 years ago, 7 million, you can imagine what it is today. With the pandemic, well, you can multiply that maybe by 10. But 7 million is still a lot, right? So they're gonna say, these 7 million people, what kind of services are they looking for? What do they need so we can provide them? Well, some of them are doing online banking. I know that, I do that, sometimes twice a day, sometimes 3 times a day. And I know some of you do that also. When we do these things, there are companies online that monetize on our services. Some of us online are on our favorite social media, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook. I love Facebook. But when we are on Facebook, what are we doing? We are sending texts, photos to family members, friends, colleagues, classmates. Guess what that is called? Community. And these guys are gonna say, you know what? With AI at the back of our hand, we can have our own community, even better. Some people online are doing e-commerce. drop shipping, email marketing, bulk emailing. There are people online that make 6- and 7-figure income every year just doing email marketing. I know that. I thought about it once upon a time. And these guys are gonna say, with AI, we can do that even better. Some people online are doing video conferencing, just like you and I, right? If you can see me, you can hear me, or both. It means you went to Zoom, put in some ID, and there you are. My friends, believe me, as we are speaking like this, the founders, the owners of Zoom are monetizing on our services. And Zoom is not the only one. We have Skype, we have AnyMeeting, we have Google Hangouts, Cisco WebEx, Microsoft Teams, a plethora of more than 25 of them. All of them making serious money, especially since the pandemic. But Zoom is the most popular. Why? Because it is the most user-friendly, but not for long. I can assure you, those of us who have been founders for a while now have been able to take a peek, a sneak peek of ONPASSIVE's webinar platform, we call it O Connect. My friends, the pictures are much clearer, 3D. It is faster, it is more secure, end-to-end encrypted, it is scalable, and above all, guess what? It is cheaper. So, but let's focus on Zoom for a minute, right? Because I said Zoom is the most popular at this moment. It's still their moment until we land. Let's focus on them for a second. Prior to COVID-19, Zoom was averaging 10 million participants every day. Every day, yes. April 1st, 2020, same company took a statistic. That number had risen to well over 300 million participants. November ending 2020, Forbes magazine recorded Zoom to have made more profits, more money than ExxonMobil, the decades-old American oil company. My friends, do you know why all this is happening? The world is going virtual. Ever since the pandemic, it's been accelerated. It was coming. It's not the pandemic that made it. Pandemic just accelerated it, okay? Because those visionaries saw it. Visionaries had seen it long time ago. After the pandemic, every university, high school, middle school, elementary school, asking students to take classes virtually. I've seen pastors, men of God, women of God, having virtual Bible studies, virtual prayer services. I've seen virtual wakekeepings, virtual graduations, virtual weddings, all kinds of things. The world is going virtual, and ONPASSIVE is simply going to help us monetize. Now let's talk about another virtual service, virtual private network, VPN. What is that? It's just a fancy name. It's a fancy name for a tunnel. A tunnel that cuts across a major network such as the internet. Employers use it so that the employees can connect to corporate data without fear of bad guys, without fear of hackers. Ever since the pandemic, more and more companies asking employees to work from home, to telecommute, as they call it. Twitter, the big IT giant, came up a few months ago and said, even after COVID-19, all our employees are going to have to work from home permanently. Yes. Facebook, 5 days later, came out, made the same announcement. The world is going virtual. And these guys are going to say, VPN with AI, we can have our own VPN. Super, super smart. More secure, end-to-end encrypted, more scalable, and above all, guess what? Cheaper. My friends, let me say this to you. When ONPASSIVE launches, the big players in this space, like Cisco Networks, they are going to know there's a new sheriff in town. Yes. And now let's talk about another service, search engine optimization, SEO. What is that? We know of search engines. We know of Yahoo. We know of Bing. And those of us Apple enthusiasts, we know of Safari. Everybody should know of Google. It's so popular, it has become like a verb these days. You can go to Google as many times a day as you want, free of charge. You can go to Google to open an email address, 1, 10, 50, free of charge. You can even go there to open a voice over IP phone number, free of charge. So it sounds like everything is free in Google. Everything is free in Facebook. We all connect for free. Yet Mark Zuckerberg and his friends are multi-billionaires. Everything is free in Google. So how do they make money? Google is a multi-billion-dollar company. So here is a multi-billion-dollar question I've got for you. How does Google make money? One of the main ways I'll show you, I'll share with you, because ONPASSIVE is going to help us make money the same way. Say you go to Google today, searching for something, and it can be anything. It can be a watch, eyeglasses, doesn't matter what it is. But let's just say it's a camera. And I just use camera for a simple reason. I do have an online store, and I market my cameras through Google. So you go to Google, you search for a camera, a bunch of them will pop up. One of them from my store. What if you click on that camera from my store? Well, it just costed me money. At the end of the month, Google is going to tally up all the clicks that go to my store, and they just bill my credit card that they have on file. And they call it pay per click. You don't have to buy it. No. Here's a contract. Here's what Google tells is people that advertise through them. You advertise something through us, and the customer comes looking for that item, we're going to optimize our search, right? We're going to bring it to the top. Yes, of course, because you've paid us so that they can see it, eyeballs. As soon as they see it, done deal. They don't have to buy it. So, small businessman like me, I'm very, very small, almost insignificant as a business person online. But I'm paying Google averagely $400 every month. And I'm paying Microsoft averagely $600 every month. Why am I paying Microsoft? Bill Gates is a visionary. He knew SEO was going to be big, did not have time to start a brand new company, bought an existing one called Bing, revamped it, and people like us now pay him every month. I'm also paying a company called Zoom, the one we are on, every month, $200. I'm paying a company called GoDaddy for domain name service. Every company online must have a domain name. So when you hear charlesosong.com, amazon.com, all of them pay some company that hosts that domain. DNS, and as you're going to find out, ONPASSIVE is going to use AI to provide us DNS also. One of the services. Search engine optimization. This guy's going to sit down and say, you know what? We have AI. We have mastery of AI. We're going to have our own search engine optimization. Super, super smart. AI driven from start to finish. By the time you type the first character, it is going to know where you are headed. My friends, I just want to say this. When ONPASSIVE launches, the big players in this space like Google, Microsoft, they are going to know there is a new kid on the block. What am I doing, my friends? I'm giving you the services that ONPASSIVE is putting together, the ones that we can relate to. That's what I'm doing. And what is ONPASSIVE doing? ONPASSIVE says, you know what? If you're an individual, a business person, small or large, online, and you need a service, you need anything that you think about, we are going to give it to you. Yes, we're going to give you that service using artificial intelligence. And we're going to put all of this under one umbrella. In IT, we'll call it single sign-on. We're going to have it in one place. And then guess what? Here's a big word. They are going to be integrated. No company on earth has ever succeeded in doing this. And ONPASSIVE is already 99% there. So I know a bunch of you here are founders already. A lot of you are soon to be founders, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, next week. And when you become a founder, you will get excited. Yes, you will. And when you get excited, you're going to tell everybody you know, I just found this new company. It's called ONPASSIVE. Great, great company. And some of them are going to laugh at you. They're going to ask you, by the way, do they even have a product? Now, remember, it's intangible. These things are intangible. Lots of people don't understand it. Here is what you tell them. We have a total internet solution. Or you can say a total IT solution, same thing. Or what about a total digital solution? Same thing. I just used 3 different phrases, all of them 3-worded, meaning the same thing. Total internet solution, total IT solution, total digital solution, whichever one you're comfortable with, same thing. ONPASSIVE itself has its own three-word phrase for it: smart business solution. Yes, it's smart because it uses smart artificial intelligence. So a smart business person is going to use it so that the business can become more profitable. That's how it is. So I told you guys earlier, with ONPASSIVE, you do not have to recruit to make money. Otherwise, I won't be here talking to you. You do not have to come out of pocket every month to pay some bill. And above all, they have the most legitimate, viable digital services in this day and age. You're going to be hard-pressed to find a company that has all three. And if you do, please contact me and I will be your first customer. No joke. You get to a company with this much value, the company is still in pre-launch. What is it going to cost you to become a founding member? When my friend came to me over 2 years ago, it was $97. Today, fortunately for you, it is still $97. How much longer is it going to be $97? Not too long. In a few days, maximum weeks, we are getting into our soft launch phase. What does soft launch mean? That means the products that are ready, we, the founders, are going to start testing them out, playing with them, making sure everything looks good before we bring it to the public. But before the soft launch officially kicks off, the price will go up. So $97 will be history. How much is it going to go up to? We don't know, but it'll go up. So save yourself a few bucks. If you're new, if you're here and you're still not a founder, get back to whoever invited you so that you can become a founder, save yourself a few bucks. If you're familiar with Richard Branson, founder, CEO of Virgin Atlantic Airlines, he said, if someone offers an amazing opportunity, but you don't understand it, jump on it and then learn about it later. So this is that amazing opportunity. Jump on it. And then you pay $97. What happens next? Financially, nothing. And if you're new, if you're first time, you're a guest, please sit up, take a sip of water, because this is the meat of this presentation. When ONPASSIVE launches, no more founders will be allowed to come in. That's it. The door is shut permanently, okay? What happens? The AI traffic, that traffic I mentioned to you guys, targeted traffic, is going to go to work on our behalf. It's going to bring in customers and or resellers back and forth, okay? And when these customers come in, what are they going to be paying for? Subscription, just like I pay Google, just like I pay Zoom, subscription for those digital services. And how much are they going to be paying? Well, one small price, because ONPASSIVE has put them all together, one place, and has made it cheaper. And how much is that going to be? Around 250 bucks. That's it. Maybe a little more, maybe a little less, but around that mark. Strategic reasons, we don't have the number yet, but around 250. Now, we, the founders, we are going to be the company's first customers. We, the founders, we're going to be a product of the product. So upon launch to the public, we are going to come in and pay that subscription also. And I want you guys to know this. That is a monthly subscription. We're here because of monthly residual income. And you cannot have monthly residual income without monthly subscription. The two go hand in hand, like in marriage, okay? However, we, the founders, because we are founders, we are going to pay just once out of pocket. Subsequently, as AI is going to work on us, we are making commissions. The company is going to pay that subscription from our profits, and the balance we can take home. Yes, we'll pay once upon launch. Subsequently, we don't have to worry about it. ONPASSIVE is going to pay from our profits, and the balance we can take home. In ONPASSIVE, I told you guys earlier, you do not have to recruit to make money. Like the name says, ONPASSIVE, it is a passive opportunity. You can be passive or you can be active. Everybody wins. How soon do you win? If you're active, you win a little bit faster. If you're passive, of course, you win, but you win a little bit slower. At the end of the day, once you're in it, you will win it, period. Now, I just told you. Upon launch, you're gonna pay one small subscription fee one time, around $250. And ONPASSIVE has guaranteed this money lifetime. What does that mean? When ONPASSIVE launches and you pay that subscription, ONPASSIVE says, hey, be a little patient, give us 90 days, give us 3 months, and just see what you get as benefit. If you don't like what you get, just say, I want my money back, and that will be refunded to you. Huge. If I did not mention it to you, the $97 founder's fee is also refundable. Our CEO has said, you pay that $97, you don't like what you see, just say, I want my money back, and you will get it. My friends, I want to say one more thing, and we're going to go to Q&A. There is risk in every business, and ONPASSIVE is no different. What is our risk? $97.